The Grammys ended, the cameras shut off, and most people thought the night was over. That's where they were wrong. Because while the trophies were handed out and the red carpet cooled down, a completely different story was just getting started. One that never made the official broadcast. Behind closed doors, music's biggest names weren't easing into the night. They were going harder. Multiple parties, multiple locations, no scripts, no filters, and some of the most unexpected pairings you could imagine. The kind of scenes that remind you why after-parties are where reputations are made, moments go viral, and quiet headlines turn loud fast. Justin Bieber wasn't slipping out quietly. Billie Eilish wasn't lying low. And somehow, Martha Stewart became one of the most talked about faces of the night, again. From luxury hotels to Hollywood's most guarded hangouts, stars bounced from one scene to the next, like the awards were just a warm-up. What makes this night different isn't just who showed up, it's how loose things got once no one was supposed to be watching. Phones came out, music got louder, and a few moments sparked more buzz than anything that happened on stage. And once you see who crossed paths and what went down after midnight, it's hard to look at the 2026 Grammys the same way again. Because the real headlines didn't happen under the spotlights. They happened after everyone thought the night was finished. Justin Bieber didn't fade into the background once the Grammys wrapped. He did the exact opposite. While most artists were swapping tuxedos for exits, Bieber walked straight into the chaos and instantly became the center of it. Inside one of the most exclusive parties of the night at the Beverly Hills Hotel, Bieber showed up with zero interest in keeping things low-key. Open hoodie, bare chest, no entourage wall. He moved through the crowd like he owned the room, hands locked onto a friend's shoulders, nodding along as Kanye West's Gold Digger blasted through the speakers. It wasn't polished, it wasn't staged, and that's exactly why people couldn't stop watching. What stood out wasn't just the look, it was the energy. This wasn't the carefully managed Bieber fans usually see. This was loose, confident, and completely unplugged from the award show image. Phones popped up fast, clips spread even faster, and suddenly his after-party presence was getting more attention than some of the night's biggest wins. And that raised eyebrows, because when a star that big drops the filter in a room full of cameras, even unofficial ones, people start asking questions. Was this just post-show adrenaline or a signal that Bieber's entering a different phase altogether? Either way, he wasn't done yet, because as wild as that moment felt, it was only one stop on a much longer night, and the next scene would bring an entirely different kind of spotlight. Lauryn Hill's night didn't peak on the Grammy stage, it evolved after it. While most performances fade once the applause dies down, hers followed her straight into the after-parties, where the reaction felt even louder and more personal. Inside the Beverly Hills Hotel, the energy shifted the moment she arrived. This wasn't chaotic hype or viral clout chasing. It was respect. People leaned in, phones stayed up longer, and when the MC took the mic, the moment turned symbolic. Lauryn wasn't just praised, she was crowned. The host called her a snow leopard, a phrase meant to highlight confidence, power, and timeless appeal without saying it outright. That label stuck, and you could feel why. Lauryn moved through the room like someone who didn't need to prove anything. No chasing attention, no loud entrances, just quiet dominance that made everyone else react. Artists half her age were visibly locked in, soaking up the moment like they were standing next to a living chapter of music history. What made this scene hit harder was the contrast. Earlier in the night, she delivered a performance that reminded everyone why her name still carries weight. But here, away from the stage lights, the love felt unfiltered. No scripts, no awards, just real recognition from people who know exactly what she represents. And while the crowd was still buzzing from her presence, the night took another sharp turn, because not far away, someone else was about to flip the after-party energy completely, and nobody saw it coming. Jamie Foxx didn't walk into the after-party trying to steal the spotlight. It just found him anyway. From the second he stepped in, dressed head to toe in a colorful suit topped off with an oversized hat, it was clear he was in a different mood than everyone else. Playful, relaxed, and ready to have fun. At first, he blended into the crowd, moving to his own track, Blame It, smiling, vibing, clearly enjoying the moment like any other guest. No rush, no performance energy, just Jamie being Jamie. But that calm didn't last long, because once the mic appeared, everything changed. What happened next wasn't planned. No announcement, no build-up. He grabbed the mic like it was instinct, and suddenly the room snapped to attention. Conversation stopped, cameras lifted. The party turned into a pop-up show in seconds. It felt raw, unscripted, and way more memorable than a rehearsed set. That's what made the moment stick. In a night full of polished appearances and quick cameos, Fox reminded everyone why he's different. He doesn't just show up, he adapts to the room and takes it over when the timing feels right. And just as the crowd was catching its breath, word started spreading about another party across town. Different scene, different faces, and the guest list that no one expected to mix this well. While one party was riding off star power and surprise performances, another was building a completely different kind of buzz across town. Universal Music's after-party in Hollywood wasn't about one headline name. It was about the mix, and that's what made it unpredictable. The guest list felt almost random in the best way. Lola Young was there, blending in effortlessly. Sharon and Jack Osbourne showed up, instantly pulling attention just by being themselves. J Balvin brought international energy into the room, while newer names like Huntrix moved through the crowd, clearly soaking up a moment that felt bigger than just another industry party. Inside, the vibe stayed loose and loud. Shania Twain was spotted stepping to the beat, looking like she was genuinely enjoying herself instead of just making an appearance. Paris Jackson drifted through conversations, bouncing between groups, keeping things low-key but impossible to ignore. No one was rushing, no one was hiding. It felt like a space where generations and genres actually collided, instead of posing for photos. That's what set this party apart. It wasn't about viral moments, it was about energy. Different worlds crossing paths in real time with no script and no clear center of attention. And for a while, it felt like this was the place everyone would end the night. But not everyone stayed, because as the hours passed, the real party hoppers were already moving again, headed somewhere legendary, where the crowd only gets tighter and the stories get harder to control. If there was one place that guaranteed the night would spiral into legend, it was the Chateau Marmont. By the time the doors filled up, the scene felt less like an after-party and more like a collision of eras. Billie Eilish was there, relaxed and smiling, blending into the crowd like this wasn't her first time navigating rooms like this. Olivia Rodrigo followed not long after, pulling attention without trying, while Paris Hilton floated through the space like it was second nature. Benny Blanco popped up nearby, adding to the sense that this wasn't one scene, it was several happening at once. But what really turned heads was who came back. Justin Bieber showed up again, proving he wasn't done making appearances that night. And somehow, Martha Stewart wasn't far behind. Same night, same rooms, completely different worlds, suddenly sharing the same space. That alone had people doing double takes. This is what the Chateau does best. It strips away the labels. Pop stars, legacy icons, lifestyle legends, everyone gets folded into the same atmosphere, where status matters less than timing. Conversations overlapped, groups shifted, and the longer the night went on, the harder it became to tell who was there by accident and who knew exactly where to be. By this point, it was clear the Grammys were just the entry point. What really mattered was how long these stars kept going, and what their willingness to stay out said about the culture they're shaping now. By the time the night stretched past midnight, one thing was obvious. This wasn't just about parties anymore. It was about movement. The same faces kept popping up in completely different locations, as the Grammys had turned into a city-wide game of musical chairs. Justin Bieber didn't stay put. Martha Stewart didn't either. A few hours earlier, they were at separate scenes, surrounded by totally different crowds. Then suddenly, they were reappearing somewhere else, smiling like this was all part of the plan. That kind of party hopping doesn't happen by accident. It's a choice and a statement. In today's celebrity culture, staying visible matters almost as much as winning. Showing up once isn't enough. The real power move is being everywhere without looking exhausted, bouncing from luxurious hotels to guarded Hollywood hangouts like the night has no end. It creates mystery, it creates buzz, and it makes fans feel like they're missing something if they're not watching closely. What's interesting is how normal this behavior has become. A decade ago, stars would disappear after the show. Now, the after party is where stories are born, clips leak, and public images quietly shift. One candid moment can undo months of carefully managed branding, or completely reinvent it. And that's the part most people don't see coming, because when the awards fade into the background, these unscripted nights start defining how the artists are remembered long after the trophies are forgotten. When you zoom out, the 2026 Grammys weren't really about who won or who lost. It was about access, visibility, and how fame works when the cameras never truly turn off. These after-parties showed a version of the music world that's less polished but more revealing. Veterans like Lauryn Hill command respect without chasing attention. Younger stars like Billie Eilish and Olivia Rodrigo are moving comfortably through rooms once dominated by gatekeepers. And figures like Bieber prove that unpredictability still fuels obsession more than perfection ever could. What's changed is the balance of control. Award shows are planned, after parties aren't. And in 2026, that's where public perception is shaped. Not by speeches, but by moments. Not by trophies, but by who's still standing when the night keeps going. It also says something bigger about the industry itself. Music culture no longer lives in one lane. It's overlapping generations, genres, and personalities in the same spaces, on the same nights, with no clear hierarchy. Legacy doesn't disappear, it coexists. And maybe that's the real takeaway. The Grammys are still the front door, but what happens after tells you who's evolving, who's staying relevant, and who understands that in this era, the story doesn't end when the show does. It's only getting started.